I never thought my life would take such a dark turn. Working at a small gaming studio, which was owned by a major gaming company, was already a hectic job. A few months before all of this happened, I had gone through a painful divorce, and now my ex-wife had custody of our son. It seemed like life was spiraling out of control. One of the main reasons for the divorce was my struggle with drug addiction. It was tearing our family apart. The second reason was my demanding job, which left me with very little time to spend with my loved ones. I was drowning in a sea of despair and loneliness. One day, with no intentions of finding anything specific, I found myself surfing the dark web. There, I stumbled upon a mysterious website with a cool-looking logo featuring various substances, including weed. As I browsed the site, I noticed that the prices were surprisingly low compared to my regular dealer. Temptation got the better of me, and I decided to order something. Among the offerings, there was a drug packed in a mysterious-looking bottle that was significantly more expensive than the rest. I decided to take a chance and placed an order for that particular drug, making the payment in Bitcoins. Let's call it X for the sake of anonymity. A few days later, the small bottle of drug X arrived, and my excitement was through the roof. I decided to give it a try. However, at first, it didn't seem to have any typical drug effects. I felt disappointed and cheated, thinking it was just a piece of junk. But that night, something strange happened. I couldn't fall asleep. I decided to continue working from the studio, hoping exhaustion would eventually overcome me. To my surprise, it didn't. I worked for hours, and the tiredness just didn't come. It dawned on me that drug X didn't induce sleep or fatigue. It felt like a superhuman pill, and I was amazed by this discovery. The next day, I took another tablet, even though the effects of the previous one hadn't worn off yet. I felt like a superhero, brimming with energy. I was more focused and dedicated to my work than ever before. Days turned into weeks, and my appetite for food and need for sleep never returned, but I didn't feel tired, so it didn't seem like a problem. I was excelling in almost every aspect of my life, and even a promotion was on its way. However, after a few months, I started noticing something alarming. My hair began falling out, not just from my head, but from my entire body. In just a couple of days, I was completely hairless. I made an appointment with a doctor, but he couldn't determine the cause. Since it was only hair loss, I didn't take it too seriously. But then, my skin began to itch terribly, and as I scratched it, chunks of skin came off. That's when I realized that something was terribly wrong. I rushed to the hospital, clutching the bottle of drug X, and the doctors were baffled by my condition. They ran various tests, and the results were alarming. In an attempt to put me to sleep, they administered multiple injections of sleeping drugs, but nothing worked. I was wide awake, just as before. They informed my family, and they rushed to my side. I shared everything with the doctors and my family, but no one could identify the contents of drug X. Desperation led to an online search for clues, and the police were also notified, but nothing substantial was found. There was no trace of the delivery company or the person who had brought the drug, and the mysterious website from which I had ordered it seemed to have vanished. I was stuck in this terrifying nightmare, with my body deteriorating rapidly. As I write this post, I have no idea if I'll live or not. The doctors are doing their best to help, and my family is providing emotional support. My body is slowly deteriorating, and the darkness that I once welcomed into my life has now consumed me. 7 years ago, during my sophomore year in college, I had a life-altering experience with salvia, a legal psychedelic that's anything but a gentle trip. At the time, I was incredibly naive and reckless, and this incident is the primary reason why I've become extremely cautious and diligent in researching any substance I consider using. It all started with a friend in my dorm who described salvia as a legal and fun psychedelic, akin to weed. Little did I know how off the mark that description was. I tried it a few times in a social setting, but we didn't really know how to use it properly, so my experiences were limited to mild dizziness and balance issues. Fast forward 1 year, and I decided to experiment with salvia again. I bought a 20x extract, thinking it was like weed but more potent. My lack of knowledge and the poor method of consumption would soon prove to be a dangerous combination. On that fateful day, I decided to finish the remaining salvia, unaware of the roller coaster ride I was about to embark on. Only my friend was there, as the others were wise enough to decline. I thought I was in for a bit of fun. I took a massive hit, holding it in for a long time. Finally, it hit me, and I began feeling strange. In a moment of youthful folly, I took an even larger hit and cleared the chamber. Soon after, my perception of reality started to fracture. Reality slowed down, and I saw everything in a choppy, stop-motion-like manner. My hand moving in front of me felt like it was being drawn across my field of vision, as if reality was created instant by instant. It was a terrifying revelation. A high-pitched squeal filled the air, and I felt impending doom. Everything fell apart, and I completely forgot that I had smoked salvia. I thought I was witnessing some profound truth about existence. It was beyond disorienting. I closed my eyes, hoping to escape the chaos, only to find myself in another world. The past 2 minutes of my life appeared as snapshots, each representing a single moment. These snapshots then split open, revealing what was happening behind existence. I had no memory of my life. It was as though I had never existed. The voice of a disembodied woman explained that reality was created between each instant, and our perception of a continuous stream was an illusion. I was trapped in the space between moments, where I'd been for all eternity, grinding against the colossal will responsible for creating reality. My escape, my life, my family, all were mere distractions from this grim reality. The voice revealed that everyone around me, including my friends, were her children, and our sole purpose was to spin with the wheel and create reality. I was surrounded by countless others trapped in this cycle. They begged me to stay and spin with them, warning that escape was impossible. I was in hell. The life I knew was a fleeting dream, and this was the true existence. I was overwhelmed, terrified, and filled with an unshakable feeling of déjà vu. Time became meaningless in that place. It felt like an eternity, and I slowly forgot my life on Earth, as if it were fading like a dream upon waking. I was dysphoric and trapped in an eternal loop, spinning with the wheel. I eventually realized that I had somehow escaped into the dream world, my earthly reality, before. And I clung to the hope that I could do it again. I was willing to start over in a new life, anything to escape that nightmarish existence. I desperately tried to manipulate the wheel, hoping to find a way back to my slice of reality. It was agony, but I clawed at it, determined to return. I found myself hopping through slices of other people's lives, experiencing their moments in time. Each slice was a different person's existence, and I came to understand that everyone I saw had smoked salvia at some point, allowing me access to their timelines. In a fleeting moment, I saw the slice from which I came, and I grabbed it, momentarily returning to my own body. But I was swiftly torn away again, and the nightmare continued. The experience was agonizingly vivid. I believed that I had hijacked the body I was in, taking it over from its original owner while they were absent. I questioned if my memories were real or merely part of this borrowed existence. It was as if I had stolen someone's life. Finally, I regained my senses and realized I had smoked salvia. I locked myself in my room, everything feeling surreal and fake. I saw my roommates as philosophical zombies, empty shells pretending to be real people, and I questioned the nature of reality itself. Over time, I experienced PTSD-like nightmares, constantly fearing I'd return to that dreadful place. The experience haunted me. I've since attempted to confront my fear by revisiting salvia, albeit in much milder forms. I'm working up the courage to delve deeper and explore the memories of that traumatic journey to understand what really happened. But the fear of not being able to return, of losing myself in the process, is a lingering concern. So, here I am, 8 years later, sharing my story. This experience has left me forever changed, questioning the nature of reality and my place in it. It's a cautionary tale, a reminder of the importance of responsible drug use and the profound impact such experiences can have on one's life.